Hello there, and welcome to Counterplot. Throughout history, there have been many famous phrases, such as "cat got your tongue," which is thought to have either come from the Roman times, where the rich would feed their cats with the tongues of liars, or in the age of pirates. I mean, like proper pirates, the ones with the big hats and the wooden leg, not somebody in Somalia with a rubber dinghy and a rocket launcher. The thought of being brutally flogged by a whip called the cat o' nine tails with 9 knotted straps that would rip flesh open would be enough to submit anybody into silence. Today we're only interested in the most weird origins of phrases, so turn a blind eye and I'll not get caught red-handed while going the whole 9 yards trying to break the ice. So without further ado, we'll start at number 5, which is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Not throwing the baby out with the bathwater you'd think would be a given, but it's actually a warning to be careful not to let a good thing go because of something bad. Don't throw out the good thing while trying to get rid of the bad. The origin of the phrase comes from Germany sometime in the 15th century, where personal hygiene hadn't really caught on, and anyone that wasn't nobility were basically a walking STD. They would think nothing about walking through disease-riddled bloody streets, littered in animal carcasses, human waste and bratwurst sausages. These common folk didn't see the point in bathing. Families would bath maybe as infrequent as once a year. They would even share the bath, the father first, then the mother, working its way down to the youngest child. By the time it was the baby's turn, the water would be so black with filth, you wouldn't be able to see the baby. So when these idiotic, stinky peasants come to throw out the water, they always check they hadn't thrown out one of their 17 kids in the process. And in at number 4, we've got caught with your pants down. To be caught with your pants down means to be caught unawares in a situation that you are completely helpless to respond or react, such as humiliating or potentially damaging act which lowers your reputation. This often involves a sexually compromising situation or something you should not be doing. The phrase is thought to have originated in 217 AD, where a Roman emperor called Caracalla was on an important trip to visit a temple called Karachi in southern Turkey. It was a long journey, and after sitting on his horse for so long, possibly feasting on pizza, spaghetti and Peroni lager, he needed a bab. So he got off his horse and went behind a tree to do his business. His bodyguards, giving him privacy, turned their backs and he pulled his pants down and carried out his dirty deed. A guy named Julius took advantage of the situation. He rushed in and stabbed the shitting emperor to death. Caracalla was literally caught with his pants down, which would have been very embarrassing indeed. And in at number 3 we've got painting the town red. Painting the town red, we all know the phrase and we all know what it means. But where on earth does the phrase come from? Well, lucky for you, we're here to find out. Believe it or not, the phrase is actually more literal than you might think. Way back in 1837, some rich bloke with quite a fancy title of Marquis de Waterford was out with his mates in the sleepy town of Melton Mowbray, where they had a few beers, and those few beers led to a few more, which led to them all being completely shit-faced. Fell out of the pub and went about the town, causing all sorts of mischief. They broke windows, even smashed flower pots during their evening's antics, even stealing a tin of bright red paint. So, in Waterford's drunken stupor, he thought it would be a very good idea to go around painting random things in the town red. Waterford and his mates painted the front doors on houses, a toll gate and even the town's prized statue of a swan. Now, we've all done stupid things drunk. I know I have. We went to Windsor once and got so wasted my mate planked the roof of a house. I threw a tent off a cliff and woke up with a wheelie bin. So I think I'm with the Marquis on this one. However, the hangover was particularly rough, as he was made to pay for all the damages that night. So next time you're getting your glad rags on to paint the town red, raise a glass to the Marquis, the posh rowdy pissed up fool, who's even in a drunken mischief has gone down in history. So in at number 2, we've got blowing smoke up one's arse. If somebody is blowing smoke up your arse today, it probably means they're feeding your ego with compliments. However, a few hundred years ago, in 1746, a man's wife drowned. The man took his wife to the nearest medical professional, who strangely inserted a tube into her arse, put his mouth round the tube, blowing hot embers of tobacco smoke into her arse. Why he thought to do this? God knows. What is truly amazing though is, on this occasion, it did actually work and the woman was resuscitated and survived. It was thought that the tobacco stimulated the heart to beat stronger and faster, which then helps with respiration. News spread and smoke enemas became mainstream. Less perverted doctors started using bellows instead of their mouths. These instruments were then hung at every popular waterway as a form of defibrillator, so people could literally blow the smoke up other people's butts. Professionals even started using these devices for other medical conditions such as bowel obstruction, constipation, strangulated hernia, colic, and even to resuscitate stillborn babies. In 1811, an English scientist proved this method was detrimental to people's health. However, the phrase still lives on. So here we've reached number 1, which is, "You're as mad as a hatter." Just the phrase alone will make the brain either create a picture of that tongue-waggling, tea-drinking lunatic from the Disney animated version of the well-known Lewis Carroll novel, or maybe the sweet imbecile played by Johnny Depp with his random bouts of Scottish rage. The truth behind the phrase is just as equally twisted. Manchester. Now, it's most well known for its 2 football teams, Manchester City and that other club in Salford. But in the 18th century, they were famous for their hat making, but unfortunately not for the safe work regulation. The hat makers, or hatters, would regularly handle mercury nitrate, which is used in the process of turning small animal pelts into felt for hats. Breathing in the substance would attack the nervous system, and workers were known to tremble uncontrollably with aggressive mood swings and random acts of antisocial behaviour, appearing to be some kind of raging Fruit Loop. So, if you'd ever like to be remembered for a phrase that goes down in the history books, remember to be a smelly and embarrassing vandal who inserts small rubber tubes in people's rectums, and most importantly, be as mad as a hatter. So, as you can see, the world's gone mental. Bye. Oh, and if you'd like to see more counterplot videos, click on the links, will ya? Cheers.